Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. I tell stories that are true and sometimes I base them with true cases around the globe. Thank you for supporting my channel, and if you are a true crime fan, subscribe to my channel. Firefighters are known to be brave. They require physical strength and mental strength. You are entrusted to run into danger when others are in danger. And while some people call firefighters heroes, they also carry the weight of every life they save. This is a job that requires courage, discipline, and heart. But what if someone wearing that uniform, someone seen as a hero, has something else to hide? This is the story of Kiyotaka Katsuta, a firefighter by day and a serial killer by night. It started on October 27, 1982. A police officer was on patrol when a car suddenly crashed into his vehicle. The driver of the car did not say a word. Instead, he grabbed the officer's gun and disappeared into the shadows of a dark alley. 4 days later, on October 31, the same person tried to rob someone, but this time, his target fought back, trying to get the gun away. The man pulled the trigger. The victim did not survive. Then November 1 came. Another shooting. Another person was injured. No arrests have been made yet. The manhunt operation continued, but the shooter was always one step ahead. Fast forward to January 31, 1983, another armed robbery. But this time, the police caught him, and what followed was truly surprising. The man they arrested was not just any criminal. He is a respected firefighter, a man with medals, a man praised for saving lives. He is Kiyotaka Katsuta. Once they got him, the pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place. He's not just tied to that one case. He has been linked to at least 7 murders. But as the investigation continued, the number increased. 22 murders, over 300 robberies, and even sexual assaults. The scale of his crimes horrified the nation. People was stunned and wonder, how could someone live such a double life? How could a person spend his days rescuing people and his nights destroying them? Kiyotaka Katsuta was born on August 29, 1948 in a rural part of Kyoto Prefecture. He was the eldest son of farmers. But his family made sure that he had the best. He went to a Christian nursery school before going to an elementary school. Not every kid in the village was able to go. He looked like a model child to outsiders, the kind of boy who had grown up into a decent man. Kiyotaka's parents were barely home as he grows up because they were always working. Because they were not present as he grows up, Kiyotaka was always given money in return. Buy whatever makes you happy, they would say. It sounds like freedom, but for a shy kid like Kiyotaka, it just meant being left alone with no one to talk to. So, because he was not the kind of kid to start a conversation, he always keeps everything to himself unless someone else made the first move. This is also what happens in their home. His dad always compares him to his younger sister. "Why can't you study like her?" he constantly tells. "Why don't you save money like your sister does?" It was endless. And even though the family was fairly fortunate and gave him daily pocket money, Kiyotaka did not feel satisfied. So, he started stealing from his own mother. At first, it was small. He would take 500 yen from her wallet and blow it all in one day. Then he escalated, stealing electric wires to sell, pawning off his dad's favorite copper basin, even pocketing money he found on the street instead of turning it in. At school, his performance dropped fast. Starting around 3rd grade, he just gave up. Instead of trying harder to surpass his sister, he ceased to do so. When he applied for high school, he told his teacher he wanted to get into a school with the highest rank. The teacher laughed and said, "Wash your face and face reality." And it was embarrassing. That embarrassment lit a fire under him because Kiyotaka actually decided to study hard. He did not get into a prestigious school, but he managed to enter a public high school's general course. The pressure did not stop there. He had to give up the regular track to keep up academically. His father stepped in and enrolled him in the regular department, hoping he could take over the family farm someday. And that only made things worse. Kiyotaka resented him deeply, and the stealing did not stop. If he felt short on cash, he would sneak into the school cafeteria to steal meal tickets. His actions kept going on. He went from stealing small to big, like stealing a car. He pickpockets random strangers on the street, more than 20 snatching incidents. One day, in November 1965, while trying to grab a woman's handbag from a motorcycle, he was finally caught by a police officer on patrol. By that point, Kiyotaka had stolen goods worth over 1 million yen or 7,000 USD. Back in 1965, the monthly salary of a university graduate was only 23,000 yen or 160 USD. This was a massive theft for a high schooler. Because he was still underage, the court sent him to the Izumi Juvenile Detention Center in Osaka. He served 6 months and was expelled from school. After his release, around 1967, he met Sachiko, a girl from a nearby town. She was a year younger. Their relationship was genuine and serious. They talked about marriage and their future together. But both families were against it. Kiyotaka's family looked down Sachiko's background, and Sachiko's family did not want their daughter marrying someone fresh out of juvenile detention. So in 1968, they escaped. The two of them moved to Osaka and rented a tiny place called the Amori apartment. The kind with shared toilets, no bath, nothing special and fancy, but they stuck together. Finally, in 1970, both families gave in, and their marriage was officially recognized. It seemed like a normal marriage at first glance, but Kiyotaka never let go of his need for freedom. He had a mistress. He stayed out at night, slept with other women, while Sachiko stayed at home with their kids. And this happened not just once. Sooner or later, she found out. In February 1979, completely shattered and devastated, Sachiko tried to end her life. By then, they had 2 sons. Hiroaki, born in 1971, and Kazuya, born on December 30, 1977. They looked like an ordinary family from the outside, but behind closed doors, cracks were already forming, and the man who was stealing for thrill was now establishing a much darker secret life. Now, moving along with his career, after getting out of juvenile detention, he had a hard time looking for a proper job. Kiyotaka had a record and people did not forget that. But because of his father's connections, he got a spot at an auto parts factory. This should have been a good start for him to begin his life all over again, but things did not flow seamlessly. The people at the factory kept on complaining about missing items, wallets, watches, things vanishing from their lockers. Everyone knew about Kiyotaka's past, and their suspicion obviously pointed toward him. He felt the pressure, the looks, people talking behind his back. In the end, he could not take it anymore, and so he quit. During his early years with Sachiko, he worked at a rental car shop. But just the same, things did not work out well again. His boss often pushed the blame onto him whenever something went wrong, and Kiyotaka ended up shouldering responsibilities that were not his. He eventually quit the job too. Then, in 1970, things transformed. He got a job as a truck driver for a transport company. He genuinely enjoys it. He was alone on the road. Nobody was around to manage his own work, and the pay was sufficiently good and reasonable. It was a simple work, and it suited him, but said work did not last him either. In January 1972, a female bank employee was raped and murdered in Kamucho, Nara City. Kiyotaka had no connection to the case. He did not even know the victim. This was the alibi he gave to the police and they bought it. However, this was asked in front of his employer. Here, they brought up his criminal past. This changed everything. Kiyotaka, who had built a reputation at the company as a hard-working guy, suddenly became the former offender or ex-delinquent. His boss, who had once trusted him, asked straight out, "Did you kill that woman?" Kiyotaka denied it. But he was disappointed. He was angry, insulted, embarrassed, and humiliated. And that is when his attitude started to shift. He began living differently. He lived extravagantly. He bought expensive clothes, drank pricey liquor, and started seeing another woman on the side. From the outside, he looked successful, but on the inside, he was winding. Sometime later, a new fire station was established in his area. And his father, wanting him to have a stable, respectable career, pressured him hard to take the civil service exam. Kiyotaka did not really want it, but he gave in and took the test and passed. In 1972, at the age of 23, he became a firefighter. It looked like Kiyotaka had turned his life around, according to most people. He worked hard. He was skilled. He was promoted to Deputy Chief Firefighter in just 2 years. And by the age of 28, he was Chief Firefighter. Colleagues respected him. He won 20 awards, even claimed 2 consecutive national championships for firefighting performance. On paper, he was a role model, a hero. But all of that was just superficial. Behind closed doors, he has a two-faced existence. Luxury car, golf club membership, expensive taste. But all of this could not be afforded by a firefighter's salary, So what did he do? He started robbing people again. During daytime, he was an honored firefighter. At nighttime, he was breaking into homes, committing armed robbery. He had built a mask so convincing that no one questioned it. And then, just 3 months into his job as a firefighter, on July 8, 1972, he was arrested for causing a car accident. Oddly enough, he was not disciplined or charged. But once again, the incident dug up his past. At work, people began to recognize the deception. The old doubts resurfaced. The pressure started to reconstruct. He turned to alcohol to deal with the stress. A lot of alcohol. He spent unreasonable amounts of money on high-end liquor. He was slipping further and further away from the person everyone thought he was. Starting around 1972, Kiyotaka began committing burglaries. He committed them regularly and mostly around Kyoto. During the day, he played the role of a perfect firefighter. But on his day off, he would drive to Yamashina, and he would do so just to break into homes. He desperately needed money. Then, in September 1972, just 5 months into his firefighting career, Kiyotaka took a turn for the worse. It was the first time he crossed the line from robbery to murder. September 12 at nighttime, he had been drinking heavily at a bar in Nara. Around midnight, he drove to Kyoto City looking for a house to rob. He went from one building to another checking for open windows and locked doors. But even after hours of lurking through neighborhoods, he found nothing worth stealing. Then, around 5 a.m., he noticed a back door in an apartment in Besho Town that has a little crack, about 10 centimeters. And that was enough. The apartment belonged to Hiroko Nakamura, a 24-year-old hostess at a local snack bar. As Kiyotaka sneaked in, Hiroko spotted him, and that is when things escalated. He attacked her. It was not just theft anymore. In the chaos, a new form emerged. Seeing her struggle, seeing her afraid, it provoked something evil. Kiyotaka raped her while strangling her with her own pantyhose. When she stopped moving, he took a mere 1,000 yen or 7 USD and fled. Later, it was Hiroko's partner, her common law husband, who found her lifeless body, half naked on the floor, and called the police. The police assumed the killer was someone she knew because there were no signs of forced entry or a struggle. However, such lead led to be inconclusive. The case went unresolved. Kiyotaka spent the stolen cash at a club and stayed in the area to keep stealing. He did this for 3 years. By July 6, 1975, Kiyotaka had already been promoted to Deputy Chief Firefighter. He had awards, a good salary, and respect, but he was still committing crimes. He went to Suita City in Osaka, looking for anyone to rob. That is when he spotted Suzuku Fujishiro, 35 years old, parking her car near her apartment. He waited. As she got out, he sneaked up and tried to snatch her handbag. But Suzuku resisted. She fought back and saw his face. Agitated due to worry or fear because of his face being revealed, Kiyotaka grabbed a tin packing cord from the ground and strangled her on the spot. Then, he placed her body in the passenger seat, drove the car to a nearby pond and left her there. He got away with 100,000 yen or 700 USD. Later, he burned her car, a Nissan Fairlady Z, in a parking lot in Osaka to erase the evidence. Her body was discovered the next morning, but once again, Kiyotaka was not in view of the police and was not even one of the persons whom the police had been eyeing for. He bought a Toyota Century with stolen money in the year 1975 in December, got a golf membership, and made nightly visits to expensive clubs. And while it wasn't enough, he borrowed more from the fire department fund, from banks, and when he couldn't pay it back, he travels to another city to rob someone else. By March 1976, he was in Nagoya. It was on March 6, past 2 a.m., Kiyotaka was stopped at a red light when he noticed a woman, likely a hostess, sitting in a Chevrolet Camaro. Her name was Teruko Ito, 32 years old. He followed her until she parked, and there, he tried to grab her bag, but she screamed and called for help. Once again, fear set in and Kiyotaka strangled her, this time using her own scarf. He stole 20,000 yen or 139 USD. He placed her body in the trunk and dumped her in a field in Nagakute Town, Aichi. Her body was discovered the next day, yet no evidence of the perpetrator exists. Then came June 30, 1977, around 2 a.m. in Nagoya again. Kiyotaka was sneaking near an apartment complex in Minami-ku when he saw a woman leaving her unit without locking the door. Her name was Akiko Masuda, 28 years old. Kiyotaka entered unnoticed. He found 40,000 yen or 280 USD in cash and was still searching when Akiko suddenly returned. She screamed and Kiyotaka ran, but upon changing his mind, he turned back. He jumped her from behind and strangled her with a thin cord. When she became motionless, he locked the door using a spare key from the entryway and made his escape. The next morning, the police investigated the incident and they assumed it was an intimate friend or partner. They focused their attention on her boyfriend while Kiyotaka walked free. By this time, Kiyotaka Katsuta's name was known nationwide, not as a suspect but as a hero. A firefighter with awards, a loving husband and father. He even appeared on a variety show with his wife Sachiko, smiling and waving. A match made in heaven. No one had a clue that he is a suspect. On the same month, the show aired. August 12, 1977, he attacked again. This time, it was an apartment building in Showa-ku, Nagoya. It was a woman named Yoshiko, a 33-year-old hairdresser. She caught sight of him sneaking, trying to force entry into the unit next to hers. She asked, "What are you doing?" And that was the last sentence Yoshiko ever said because he strangled her. When she was dead, he removed the diamond ring off her finger worth around 450,000 yen or 3,100 USD. He then cautiously moved her body into the narrow space between the bed and the wall. Just like in his previous crimes, he locked the door with the key left in the front entrance and left without a sound. Until August 16, 4 days later, Yoshiko's body was finally discovered. And while the public had no idea that there was a serial killer walking among them, Kiyotaka's crimes were only darkening. He again took another life. His method for this was different. He used a hunting rifle. His victim was Hiromasa Inoue, a 25-year-old employee. Unlike the previous crimes, where he broke into homes or followed women with handbags, this time he went big, targeting a massive cash hole. And he got it. He escaped with 4.1 million yen or 28,300 USD in cash and another 5.1 million yen or 35,500 USD in checks. Before running, he dumped the rifle near the crime scene. He had stolen a truck from the Nagoya Central Wholesale Market just before the robbery and later abandoned it too. This moment became a turning point. Kiyotaka realized that if he was going to keep living this luxurious lifestyle, the clubs, the women, he would need strength and energy. In December 1979, he conducted surveillance on the gun shop. When he saw a customer leaving with a rifle, he followed the man home and broke in. He stole the weapon, and when he is armed, he went back on the hunt. On July 30, 1980, Kiyotaka stole a Toyota Corolla and drove to a supermarket in May toward Nagoya just before midnight. He waited for closing time, then ambushed Ichiro Honma, a 35-year-old employee. Holding him at gunpoint, Kiyotaka forced him to open the store's safe and hand over 5.76 million yen or 40,000 USD, then ordered Honma to drive away, only to shoot him in the heart once they were clear of the scene. Then, on October 25, 1982, he stole a Toyota Celica and decoyed a patrol officer with a fake tip about a suspicious car. When the officer arrived, Kiyotaka attacked him with an iron rod, stole his loaded revolver, and disappeared. On October 31, in Hamamatsu City, he tried to rob another supermarket with an armed stolen pistol. But this was not successful because the employee of the supermarket escaped and raised the alarm. He planned another robbery, but this time he avoided using his own car. At the Otsu service area, armed with a pistol, he hijacked a yellow van, threatening the driver, Mitsuhara Kamiyama, a 27-year-old guy. Around 9:30 p.m., as they drove through Kusatsu City, Kamiyama tried to disarm him but he failed. Kiyotaka killed him by shooting him in the chest, and after that, the violence increased. This series of crimes became known as the Metropolitan Designated Case 113. On January 31, 1983, Kiyotaka parked a stolen Toyota Corolla outside a bank in Showa Ward, Nagoya City. At around 1:45 p.m., Kiyotaka came toward a 31-year-old man. He was the president of a local transport company who had just withdrawn over 1 million yen to pay his employees. Kiyotaka pointed a gun at him, but the man fought back. He grabbed Kiyotaka's arm and struggled for the gun. A few bank employees saw the struggle from inside and rushed out to help. This time, he was unable to run. The police arrived, and just like that, Kiyotaka Katsuta was arrested. And what he said shocked the nation. Kiyotaka confessed to 8 murders. The real person was finally revealed. Japan was shaken when the news broke. He was charged with 33 crimes in total, 7 counts of robbery and murder, 1 count of murder, 3 counts of robbery and manslaughter, 2 counts of robbery, 1 count of attempted robbery, and 12 counts of theft. While in prison, Kiyotaka kept his distance from other inmates. On January 17, 1994, the Supreme Court of Japan justified his 2 death sentences, a landmark moment in the country's judicial history. He was the last person executed in Japan at the end of the 19th century. The priest recited the Hanya Shingyo as Kiyotaka quietly whispered the names of his victims. "I am sincerely sorry," he said. On December 2, 2000, his funeral was held in Nagoya City. His body was cremated. This is one of Japan's most chilling hidden identities. His story has been adapted into books, films, and documentaries since then. This was not to glorify what he did, but to remind us that you never truly know who someone is until they decide to take off the mask. This case reminds us that cycles of violence are not isolated events. Many of Kiyotaka Katsuta's victims were vulnerable. This being said, let us be reminded to always protect ourselves and be vigilant. Thank you for watching.